Hello fellow YouTubers, welcome to GTRU. The GTRU stands for Geeks, Technology, and Rockstar United, and we'll be covering stories from each category. For the geek side, we'll be representing stuff from movies and TV shows. From the technology side, we'll be representing video games, Apple events, Microsoft events. And for the Rockstar, we'll be representing metal news, rock news, and pop news, and the United brings them all into one episode.
We won't be talking about rumors. We will mostly be talking about facts related to G.T.R.U. I hope you enjoyed this first episode. Stay tuned.
Welcome to GTRU, and we're going to be covering a few stories for you today. Our first being from our geek category. Now we're going to be covering the Falling Skies series finale. Falling Skies is a TV show based on a post-apocalyptic world where the humans have to fight an alien race known as the Ishveni. Series finale, I gave it a rating of 8 out of 10 because the show did wrap up very nicely, but there was one thing that they did not. They did not wrap up the character Pope, his storyline. That being, Pope was a fighter for the resistance, but then he grew tired of Tom's leadership. And at the very end of the show, he died of his wounds, telling Tom to kill him, and Tom refused. Now, to me, that just didn't seem like a fitting way for Pope to go out. And then they got to a gunfight earlier on in the show where Tom just blew Pope up and you didn't see him again until the end of the episode. That's my review. That's for you.
Now, mine is, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Being that it's a little more than he gave it. He gave it an 8.8 out of 10. Sorry. It was because the Pope. Pope. His death, honestly, could have been a lot better. It could have happened a lot much earlier in the season, and they could have made it a lot better in this episode. Being that's a season finale. Moving on to the Fear of the Walking Dead. Let me tell you, I gave the rating an 8.5 out of 10 because of a few main reasons. One was that they actually did a really great part with how the humans aren't decaying. They're still fresh. And so in the one episode 2 actually, you had Tobias try to stab the principal in the head with a knife, and it wouldn't happen because the skin is still too tough and it just wasn't possible. So then Madison took the fire extinguisher and bashed his head in. I felt that it actually came together really quite nicely, but hoping for episode 3 to be a lot more action-packed. What's your rating on it?
I give The Fear of the Walking Dead an 8 out of 10. It was a very good episode, and the show, like I said, every episode seems to build off the other one, so I feel like every episode is going to get better than the previous one. Now, I give it an 8 out of 10, there was a lot of good stuff, like the skin, like the zombies aren't decaying because they just started to surface. I actually liked the characterization in this episode, especially for Madison. Madison is a regular counselor, and already you can tell she's starting to see the aspects of survival, basically. That being, she didn't hesitate to take out that principal with a fire extinguisher. And even at the end of the episode, when their neighbors were getting eaten, she knew to keep her family safe, to lock the doors and not bother. She just let them die, because in her mind, they have to survive. As for the rest of the episode, it was pretty good. I feel like everyone was a little bit more scattered in this episode. Instead of being all together, you had Travis looking for his son Chris, and then they ended up being in the Salazar's barbershop. But other than that, very good episode, and I cannot wait to see episode 3.
Now let me ask you a quick question. Do you actually believe that Madison will actually become the next Rick?
Well, she is the main character, her and Travis, but she is a star. I feel like if the show were to continue... Yes, if they, depending on how many seasons they want to do, they're already confirmed a season 2 of 15 episodes. But I feel like if she were to continue, yes, I feel like she's going to become a very hardened killing leader. Yep.
All right. Well, next, here we go.
Now, for the Transporter review, which I saw last weekend, was pretty good. I gave it an 8 out of 10. That being, it was a very good action movie, and I'm a big Transporter series fan. I believe Ed Skrein, who plays the Transporter, almost did a better job than Jason Statham. Ed Skrein, if you don't know, he is in Game of Thrones. He plays Khaleesi's bodyguard. And then you also have Ray Stevenson, who plays Ed Skrein's father in the movie. He also played in The Punisher, and he also played in Rome. Now, for the overall movie, lots of good action, lots of good sequences, especially the fight scene when he's fighting 4 guys in the locker room and he's using everything as a weapon. It was a great scene. He also had the girls that were helping him. They were also a nice addition to the plot. The villain was pretty ruthless, so I enjoyed him. The only thing I didn't like in the movie was that the villain seemed to be always a step behind the protagonist of the movie, and it was kind of never really that much of a challenge. But that's my review.
Well, I really actually like your review about how you really introduced it. Well, now mine, I haven't actually can review it. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I have seen the trailer, read the plot, and it sounds amazing, honestly. From seeing how much he said, it sounds really great. Even though I'm a diehard fan for Jason Statham, I do think this movie actually looks up to its potential. Being that it actually has one of my favorite actors in it, which is Ray Stevens. He's not my complete favorite, but he was really great in the small role he played in Divergent. I felt it was really good. But I want to let you guys in on a little fact about this movie. They originally wanted to cast Jason Statham for the role,
but he turned it down. And that being said, from comicbookmen.com, it was reported that Jason Statham turned down the role for another transporter, so you got someone else, and he did a very good job. So, way to go, Ed Screen.
Now moving on to
Until Dawn. Until Dawn is the next thing we'll be talking about. Until Dawn is a very good game. I give the game about a 9 out of 10 myself. That being because the overall plot of the game was great. It was about a group of teenagers going to a cabin to get away from, life. But the year before, 2 of their friends died from a mysterious force, and they never found out what it was. And then as the game progresses, you find out it's some kind of haunted tribe. The whole overall aspect of the game is very similar to games such as Heavy Rain, which Quantic Dream made, and also Beyond Two Souls. But the thing about this game is that it tends to give you a lot more options than both Heavy Rain and Beyond. This game is kind of like a butterfly effect, meaning like everything you do, almost everything you do, everything of dialogue that you do will some way, shape, or form impact your progress. That's why the overall game campaign is only 4 to 5 hours, but because you can replay it and it'll be a different story each time, it has a lot of replay value, which makes the game also very amazing. On top of that, with the graphics, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. What do you say, Shane?
Honestly, I give it a 9 out of 10 as well, but also being that this is another thing I have not played or seen. I actually have seen it. I've seen a trailer of it. I've seen some gameplay of it. I've seen some great videos, actually some really fun videos of what I've seen on YouTube. I do want to ask you a question, though.
Yes.
The question behind it is like the butterfly effect you said, right? Mm-hmm. Does that mean like if you step on a leaf type deal, or does that mean like anything of that part?
Well, no. You can choose different paths in the game. Like, you don't have to always go the way you want to go. You can also explore in different things. Like, there's one part in the game where you actually you can go straight or you can go through a tunnel.
Oh.
And then if you go through the tunnel, you have the option to help your girlfriend down or let her go down herself. And then you're considered a bad person. You know what I mean? I mean, like, it takes all your choices in the aspect. You can be a total jerk or you can be a total hero.
Oh, so you can like change your words you want to say, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think I've seen the trailer.
Yeah. It's very, very, like, it's perfect for that type of aspect. But this is as good as you get with that kind of game.
Well, overall, I definitely stay with a 9 out of 10 after hearing all about that because of the graphics and the storyline behind it, even though it's 4 to 5 hours long. Well, I guess it's now moving on to music. Here we go. According to blabbermouth.com, we start with Iron Maiden. Well, here's a great story to tell you. It's about Bruce Dickinson, and, well, he has tongue cancer. It's happened to happen because of oral sex.
That being, Bruce Dickinson is recovering, and the virus that he has is called papillomavirus. And what that does is that it creates warts on your body, and unfortunately for him, it's on his throat, and he's also the lead singer. So,
tough break.
He basically went on Blabbermouth and said that he got it from oral sex. And now that now they have a new album out, he has to wait to put out a tour because of the virus. He's still recovering, and we hope he makes a speedy recovery. Now, another story for us from Blabbermouth would be Metallica, another great 80s metal band. Metallica, Kirk Hammett went on Blabbermouth to state that Metallica is having a hard time putting out their new album, but that's because they have lives. He stated that they have a lot of families, and they just can't seem to get together to finish the album. They have all the writing process, but they just have to record, and it's just been a hard time for them. Plus, they've been on tour, and I think this year they're stated for 3 more tours, 2 in Quebec City, and they're also making an appearance at Rock in Rio. So, if it's going to happen this year, like I said, we hope. If not, we could be seeing a Metallica album next year, early or late. Let's see. Blabbermouth also had Slayer. Slayer, another big metal band. Slayer, Tom Araya, he is the bass player and lead singer. He stated why Dave Lombardo, the drummer, left the band after some time. They didn't specifically say details, but according to Tom Araya, Dave Lombardo left because he wasn't happy with his contract. And even though they tried to work out his contract with him, he just was so stubborn about it that they just had to move on. So they had their old drummer that recorded a few albums with them return. And as of now, they're doing great. They're coming out with a new album in about 2 days called Repentless. Mm-hmm. And we hope that it's as good as any other. And it's also their first album to not have Jeff Hanneman play guitar. So we shall see how it goes. And we have one more story for you.
It's about Five Finger Death Punch and how they put out a new album. Please tell me, what is the album called?
Got Your Six.
It's going to be great. Actually, it is great.
I've listened to it, 14 songs, and it's just, they really tried so hard to put the music in. Like how do I explain this? It sounds a lot like old, but it sounds a lot like new. They kind of incorporate elements from all their albums that they've had, which is great when bands do that, because they show that even though they have new stuff, they don't forget how they are in the past.
How they originally started.
Five Finger also said that they're doing great as a band, and they're going to continue to tour and make music and be a metal band, and I'm glad for them. 6 albums, they come a long way. And finally, there's a fun fact before we end this episode, and that is Wes Craven, which I'm sure you all know he died at the age of 76 due to brain cancer, according to IGN, which they got it from Reddit. Wes Craven, he died, but the cool thing to know is that his legacy will always live on. That being, if you watch the Scream TV show on MTV, they, for the last episode, put a tribute to him before the episode aired, and it basically said, "We will live on, Wes Craven." Sad, because he's been making horror movies for years now, from Freddy Krueger to Scream, and he will always be remembered.
Gonna miss you, buddy.
That's all we have for this week. Please stay tuned and come with us for episode 2 next week. Thank you for watching. This is GTRU.
Have a good one.